So today we're going to talk about 5 ways to heal the pain of a breakup. Now, if you are right in the middle of the pain of a broken heart, I want you to know that my heart goes out to you. I think that the pain of a broken heart is one of the worst possible pains that anyone can experience. It's just devastating. It impacts your sleep. It impacts whether you how you can work, during the day. It impacts conversations that you have. It's just a horrible, awful, lingering feeling. And so I just want to tell you the most important thing that you can remember during this time is to treat yourself with loving kindness as much as possible, and to know that it won't always be this way. As cliche as that sounds, the reason it's cliche is because it's true. It's a cliche because it's true. You will feel better even if you can't tell right now. So that's one thing that I want to tell you, is that you will feel better. I promise you that you'll feel better as time goes by. Another thing that I want to tell you is that if a lot of time has gone by and you think that you need some help feeling better, that's exactly what counselors are for. So definitely talk to a counselor and see if you can get some help feeling better, because you don't have to do it by yourself. You really don't have to do it by yourself. And it's okay to feel devastated over a breakup and to ask for help. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you crazy. It doesn't make you weird. It doesn't reflect negatively on you that you ask for help. Everyone is susceptible to the pain of a broken heart, including me. I've been through that and I understand. So definitely talk to someone who can help you. So, 5 tips that I can give you, 5 ways that I can give you to help you relieve the pain you're in right now. Because we can talk about, those happy, positive, law of attraction types of thoughts all day long. And we can say, yes, the pain was here to teach you something. Yes, it's here for you to look at your life and for you to understand what pattern in you helps to contribute to this situation, or for you to learn something important about yourself and your needs, or it might be mirroring something back to you, or any of those things. Any and all of those things can be true, but they're cold comfort right now when your heart is broken and you're in pain. So what I want to do is I want to help you with 5 ways that you can feel better right now, and that will start your healing from this pain that feels like it will never heal. Um, and I want to give you tools you can use right now that will help you with the pain that you're feeling at this moment. So, the first thing that I will tell you, number one, is don't try to be a hero, okay? So, a lot of times people will force themselves to go out with friends to prove that they're over it and that that other person didn't mean that much to them and that they're okay. Um, they'll try to force themselves to think really positively, excuse me, and different things like that. And that's not what you need to do. You do not need to do that. You deserve your gentleness, you deserve your kindness, you deserve time to heal. So don't worry that you need to go out and accept every social invitation, that you need to go to every party, that you need to do all of those things, especially if you are an introvert. If you are an introvert, you especially need to honor that you need your own space and you need your own time alone to recharge during this time. So don't try to be a hero. If you feel like staying in and, watching Netflix and eating ice cream and hanging out in your PJs, just do that. Give yourself what you need. And we have such a fast pace of our society that we sometimes can be super reluctant to actually just give ourselves the time that we need to do nothing. We think we need to be productive all the time, or that we need to be plugged in all the time, or that we need to be with someone all the time, with friends all the time. And you really don't need to be doing any of those things all the time. You can give yourself the time that you need to recharge. So don't try to be a hero. That's number one. Number 2 is, oh, that's right, I'm looking down here at my notes here. Number 2 is to let yourself cry. A lot of times we feel like it's not okay to let that out, to let out the pain, because we think if we start crying, we might never stop. That's the fear that's underneath of that, is if I let this pain out, if I look at this pain, if I acknowledge this pain by crying and grieving, I will never get it in control enough to be able to like live through the day. And I know that if that sounds intense to you, then you probably haven't experienced the caliber of breakup pain that I'm talking about. But for some of you watching, you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially if it's been multiple breakups, depending how long you were with that person, if you were with them for a very long time, if you had children together, if you lost them because of a breakup, or if you lost them because you're grieving them because they've transitioned. All of those things have a really huge impact on how strongly you feel the pain of losing them. So I want you to know that when you're in the middle of that, it is okay to cry. Please cry. Please let that out. And don't be afraid that you're not going to be able to stop crying, because you will. Once you've acknowledged the grief, once you let it out, once you let yourself feel it and you cry, there'll be a moment when you feel tired and kind of cleansed, where the tears are done and you just feel tired and a little bit relieved. So let yourself cry. Let your body release the tension that you're holding, and cry. If you don't cry, you will likely become physically sick. That happens very often. That is what happens physically. And what happens metaphysically is that you usually will attract someone to you. If you're holding unresolved grief, you'll attract someone to you who is either also holding unresolved grief or who will give you more things to grieve about. So don't hold on to the grief. Let it out. Sometimes what's super helpful is to make an appointment with the grief. Like you say, okay, I usually get super sad around 9 o'clock at night. So you start making an appointment. At 9 o'clock, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry for as long as I need to cry. And then you do that. And what happens is, if the grief knows that it can show up at a certain time and be expressed, then the other times of day it starts to ease off a little bit, so that it can be expressed during that time. It's like there's an energy to grief, and it's really interesting how it works. But that happens often, where like once you give it a time, you make an appointment with it, and you say, I will meet with you at 9 o'clock, and we will be together, grief, and I will cry and sob and let you out. Then it starts to ease up during the other times of the day. So that's really helpful. Number 3 is to take a bath in warm water and Epsom salts. Now, obviously, I didn't invent warm water and Epsom salts. That's been a cure for things for a really long time. The reason for that is that, first off, there are a lot of physiological things that happen. The warm water helps to relax the tension in your muscles. It helps your body it helps your body physically start to heal itself. Grieving and sadness in your body, they feel like a wound. Your body responds to grief like it has been physically wounded. So there is more inflammation in your tissues and in your joints and stuff like that when you're grieving. So the warm water serves that function of helping you physically to have that comfort and that healing. But when you have warm salt water, salt is very cleansing to your energy, and you can feel very refreshed and very protected in a saltwater bath. So when you combine those things, when you have warm water and you're in Epsom salts in the water, especially if you have like lavender, because lavender for aromatherapy is very relaxing, it helps you sleep. Those are things that are very helpful for you to give you some physical and emotional relief from the pain of grieving. And, a lot of times people feel like the only safe place for them to cry is in their bathtub, because number one, the water just kind of disguises the fact that they're crying. But the other thing is that it's sometimes the only place that we can be alone. So take advantage of that and give yourself at least that space, so that you can let that grief out, and so that you can start some healing, and you will feel better. The 4th thing that I want to tell you about is to sleep. Sometimes the only thing that really heals on an emotional level is sleep. On a spiritual level is sleep. You need to rest. You need to give your body and your spirit a chance to heal and renew. Often we're really bad with sleep. We have really terrible sleeping habits. And you'll find that if you start to have like a bedtime routine, it can be very helpful for you. So, for example, like I always take a shower before I go to bed. I usually use some kind of lavender oil on myself. And then I usually don't read or like do a bunch of computer stuff in bed. It's not a good idea to have a lot of lights, a lot of like digital lights, LED lights, and stuff like that in your bedroom, or to have a TV in your bedroom. It's very it keeps your body from being able to wind down and rest when there are a lot of other lights. And it's really good if you can have blackout curtains and make it the room as dark as you possibly can, and make your bed as comfortable for you as you can possibly have it. You can always, if your bed feels too small for the comforters or the sheets or anything like that, get a comforter that's one size bigger than the size that goes on your bed. So if you have a twin bed, get a full size comforter. If you have a full size bed, get a queen size comforter. Little things like that can really help you sleep all the way through the night without worrying about uncovering yourself or being woken up in the middle of the night, things like that. So sleep is super important for your healing. Do everything that you can to make sure that you get the rest that you need. Also, melatonin can sometimes be good. Now, I am not a psychiatrist. I'm a love coach, an energy healer, and a counselor. My background, my educational background is in psychology and in educational counseling. So I am not prescribing melatonin for you, and I am not a doctor that is giving you medical advice about melatonin. But I will tell you that I use melatonin, and I find that it's very helpful for falling asleep. So some people really love melatonin for falling asleep, and they find it really helpful. What it does is that um, it helps with your circadian rhythm. So it works really well with the darkness. So when you take melatonin and then you have the lights off, you'll fall asleep much more easily. So if you're the type to toss and turn even with the lights off, melatonin might be helpful for you. So that's number 4. Sleep, 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 because it heals your body and your spirit. And our very last way to help heal breakup pain is to put away, if you have anything that belongs to your ex, put it away temporarily. Now, you don't have to go crazy with it. You don't have to, burn it. You don't have to throw it out the window. You don't have to do anything dramatic to make a statement that you're getting rid of these things, because there may be a time when it's actually healing for you to look at these things again, and when you can look back at that past relationship with some compassion for yourself and for your ex. And so don't get rid of all of those things, because there may be a time when you would really like to see those things, and it's okay to just move them out of your constant visual, out of your eye line, so that you're not seeing them all the time, every day. So, stop sleeping in the t-shirt, put away the mementos of the places that you went to together and things like that. Put those things away temporarily. Like I said, it doesn't have to be forever. You can put them in a box and put them in, the very back bottom of your closet or something like that, the back of your garage, anything like that. But put those things away temporarily, and it will help. So, if you are dealing with breakup pain, I would just urge you. First of all, I want to tell you that I so feel for you, and I so understand the pain that you're going through, and I have experienced it myself. And these things that I'm recommending to you are things that have worked for me, that have worked for my clients, and I just urge you to try at least one of these things for yourself and bring yourself some comfort and some healing and some relief. And that's what I have for you today. So I hope we'll connect again soon. And in the meantime, I'm sending you all of the love and light your heart can hold.